Look at this amazing mausoleum over here. It looks like it's all gated up, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to get in here today. Might come back some other time and try to see it, but I'm gonna park here and walk across the street and check out it looks like the older section of the graveyard. There actually possibly could be an old Indian burial ground here too. From the photos I'm seeing and even from the aerial photography. So whatever it is, it looks like it. I don't know if it's 100% actually is a mound, but the way it is shaped, it definitely looks that way. This is a huge drop off right here too, and there's actually a place on the other side to drive down into it. I don't know what it's here for. There's no graves. It's not a pond. It might be like a little grass area to hold like services. And you can see here, this place actually has electricity running to it and is propane heated. How cool is that? But thick, very, very nice gates. We'll go ahead and walk up it though before I go ahead and cross the street. As you can see, a little bit of decay here. Really amazing looking. Whoa. Look at that door. But yeah, tell it's definitely secure, completely locked. But I thought it'd be real fun to come and check that out. We're actually going to be heading over this way and checking out the other side to see this potential burial mound, and then we'll come back over here and check out some of the historical graves. And I think there's some more mausoleums around here somewhere, so we're gonna drive around a little bit and try and check that out too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and enter this way. Since I'm not a vehicle, shouldn't be a problem. There is a functioning sidewalk right here. What a cool looking kind of chain fence, I guess. A lot of the chain is missing, but I'm guessing it is incredibly old. And I just checked on my map and it's looking like there should be a pretty big mausoleum coming up here. As soon as I pass through these gates right here, well, sort of gates, more like just a small break in the fence. Whoa. There's a lot of just random trucks parked around here. Looks like it's almost security. Definitely appears that there's some more here coming up. Right now, we're actually going to head this way. And I think this here is what could potentially, oh no, that actually is another mausoleum right there. It was really blending in because it's colored green and you can see some of the bricks popping out. So let's go check out this mausoleum. And I think this is actually what I was seeing here, but I'm not sure that it's marked. As you can tell, it just goes straight down and then kind of has a dip upwards in this, or I should say, it pops up in the center. Absolutely no explanation so far. There is something right here. Huh. I mean, you can tell just from the shape of the hill here why it would look a lot like a burial mound. And you can see how far built up the hills are surrounding. So again, it kind of makes me wonder, And the only other thing I can think of is that the owner of this mausoleum here, whoever's buried in there, actually paid to have this developed as like his own private, or their family's own private little area. So like just a landscaped area for their family members in the future to come and enjoy. I know I say wow a lot, but wow. Just look at the coloring on it. So it's some sort of, I don't even know what it'd be made out of. It might be some sort of cement itself that's just kind of put over the top of the bricks, sort of like stucco, and then painted this green color, or I don't know, maybe it actually has been stained over the years. I don't know. Oh, I wish this was unlocked though. This would be an incredible one to be able to visit. The door is definitely not stuck, so it could be opened. Alright, let's go ahead and walk up the stairs. It's one of the few large graveyards I've seen with all dirt roads, at least on this side. On the newer side, it's not that way. So we've come to the very, very top. We just passed 2 ventilation pipes. Still not any info to be seen about the area and why all this landscaping and mounds were created here. There is a few stones here, but I don't know if they're connected or not. Definitely one of the craziest looking places I've been to. And in retrospect, I should have used the stairs again. Let's see if we can locate a name. Is one of the biggest places I've been to, with mostly old graves at it. And we've arrived at the very back here, bordering this pretty huge lake or lake system. I think it's actually a couple of different lakes that are connected. Well, this is a neat one. I don't see too many of these. Eva Lee Merrill, and she was a member of Daughters of the American Revolution. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I've heard in the past, and I haven't really looked up a whole lot of information on it. I would guess it's a security truck over there. When I first came over on this side, he was parked right by what I thought was the mausoleum, and now that I've moved way back out of his sight, he's actually changed positions 2 different times. So anybody that says, hey, you're paranoid, people aren't actually watching you, yes they are, and a lot. It really does happen quite a bit. And I'm not being paranoid at all. But again, they may not have bad intentions though. And here's a Civil War veteran, and I can never say this quite enough. Each place seems to have its own unique veterans markers, and again, never ever ever seen this before. It looks like this is actually a veterans section right now that we're coming up on. And there actually is a pathway over this way that was hidden behind the hill. I thought that it might not be part of the graveyard. I think that's a walking path that just goes around the lake. And another unique find, these water spigots all have, well, a lot of them have the plastic water jugs actually still attached to them. I'm sure they're not that old. I know they have not been around since the beginning. Here's some more stars coming up here. World War I vet right next to a right next to a Civil War vet. And things like this again make me wonder. You can see the entire row is pointed in a single direction, and then we have one grave that is pointed in this direction. However, if we turn this way, you can see all these tire marks right here. Things like this make me think that originally it was pointed the other direction and somebody probably hit it, and that's just where it got replaced. It's actually been cold enough up here to freeze the lakes over, even though I'm sure that it's probably not safe enough to walk on quite yet. Whoa, that is slippery. It makes me wonder if any of the graves have ever fallen down. It even kind of looks here, you can see how the leaves are indented, and so it looks like something actually did slide, although if it did, it would have had to done it this season or it wouldn't look like this. There's nothing down there, unless it went all the way into the water if the water level was at one time a lot higher. But yeah, when I first saw that it was this close to the edge of the hill in the lake, that was kind of my first thought, that there might be some headstones that have actually slid down. But this is a great example here of what I was talking about. It's so close. You know, you can imagine in another 5 years, another 10 years, the erosion may push this hill back enough to make it tip over and fall down in. And even the wall, their little retaining wall here, which is probably built for that very reason, is just teetering on the edge. I'm not gonna have too much time before I absolutely need to head over to the other side of the road. The sun's dropping pretty quickly. The truck's disappeared again. We'll see if he meets up with me again. Now look, old milk jug. There's some ice in it. So somebody actually left it filled up. Look how elaborate these shorter headstones are. I kind of like that. You know, obviously when it comes to square objects, the edges are going to be the first thing to get torn up, and by putting those decorative coverings along the edges and some smoothing it out a little bit, it actually may help to keep the headstone nice for longer. And right next to it, I think this is also, yeah, the Daughters of the American Revolution. And it even says right here the chapter of the group that installed the marker here. So how cool is that? Wow, that is a big drop off again. This place seems to have a theme to it. It's lots of these, I don't even know exactly what you would call it, other than like a natural sort of amphitheater or like a grass amphitheater, which is what it's shaped like. And no mausoleums in this one, but there is something at the very center, just a single stick, some sort of post stuck in the ground. It actually looks like it was a signpost and that there's a sign missing. So there's like a section cut out of it, like where something rectangular could have sat on top. But again, where you would kind of expect to see maybe like a mausoleum set into the side of one of these hills, there's none. Kind of seeing, I don't know if this is just flattened out mud right here. Yeah, okay, it is. It could just be an area for services to be held before someone is buried. Whew. This place has certainly not been a disappointment though. I mean, just an epic location once again. And I've been getting so much good luck recently hitting these spectacular places with lots of amazing history. And it's about the history, it's about the stories, it's about the architecture, the design, the artwork. There's just so many incredible things to see in places like this. It's actually a way of learning a certain portion of history that you don't see in the history books, which is how history affected each individual person. There's just a tiny little one down here. Never seen one that small. These headstones here were built by the woodmen of America, or the woodmen of the world, and they're some of the more elaborate works that you can find, and each one, a lot of times anyway, comes with individual stones for the family members. And a lot of times it seems like they just come up with the ideas on the spot and make them. Well, our friend was parked right here, and he has since moved. Apparently I have satisfied him enough to not think that I'm trying to do anything nefarious here. But just look at this road I'm walking down right now, like all dirt, surrounded by these amazing 1800s graves. It really gives you that feeling like you've been transported back in time. Here's another one here. Now that I'm looking, directly behind me, there's a massive one, and it almost looks like on video it blends right in with the rest of the trees. And literally the tallest one I have ever seen. It's probably, I want to say 20 feet high. I know it's more than 10. And as I had said before, each one being unique, this one has this almost like a step up, as if people are meant to stand right in here. And I'm not going to step on it. And you can see it says Greenwood right down here. It's a very unique message too. Sacred to the memory of Richard Greenwood, who entered into rest April 1st, 1877. Another really unique one. Oh, and I didn't even notice these two. Everything just kind of blends in this time of year. So this right here appears to be the pathway that probably once led to an entrance, maybe not. Oh, look how cool this row looks with the straight trees and the graves. But I still kind of think that they're used to be an old entrance this way. I hear a vehicle, I can't tell. Oh yeah, there's a Jeep directly ahead of me. Oh look, that plane actually looks a lot closer in real life. And either some people or animals have used this little trail to get in right here. Person number 2 that is stopped. Actually, they were the ones that got the closest. There we go. They pulled up right behind me and just stopped and stared at me with the window halfway down. Just say hi. That's a neat one there too. And what's really cool is how thick it is. It must be at least 1.5 feet thick. There they are. This is from the Spanish-American War, and they are usually in this shape, but the lettering on the inside actually looks very unique from what I've seen before. It's an interesting one. It's broken. Oh, it's one of the metal ones. I see. And there's been bricks and things placed in the bottom because it's a little bit, well, a lot lighter than what a granite stone would be. So they're placed there so that they don't move as easy. I've never actually seen one wear away this much though. I'm pretty sure this structure up here was the other mausoleum on this side that I thought existed. And way, way over in the distance, you can actually see my car. So I can check on my car from here to make sure no one's messed with it, no one's towed me. So that's good. And almost like clockwork, another person pulled in a red car, and then they parked right here while I was taking pictures of the statue and the headstone here, and then pulled over this direction behind the pavilion and parked. Directly behind that headstone, you can see the red car. Just pulled and stopped in plain view where they can keep an eye on me. When 5 different cars follow you around, one with their window down, one parks directly behind you, stares at you for a couple minutes and then moves away. They're checking on you. It's almost disappointing that this entryway wasn't open to drive up. I would have loved to park in here. Oh, I do. I see another mausoleum. So, luckily, before we go back to the car, we'll go check out one more mausoleum at least. And then we're gonna hop in the car and drive around a little bit because this place is just massive. How badly I just wanna hop in that pile of leaves. And another weird sort of area that is below the rest of the elevation. I think there's been a bird that has been eating around here because you can smell dead fish. And there's so many lakes around here. I'm in the middle of about 5 or 6 lakes, I think. And I'm guessing that a bird picked up a fish out of the lake and came over and began eating it and left the rest of it somewhere. I'm hoping this is the back window. Is the way the stone looks. Kind of looks like it used to be a door, but I don't see, it's looks like there's no way to have sealed it off. I think that's just from the rain washing down. Whoa, this thing looks so cool in the sunset. I kind of wish I had time to get over there and just take some sunset photos over the lake, but I really want to check this out and see if it's unlocked, and then we can get in and see at least one today. It looks like, whoa, look at the stained glass. It's not unlocked, but you can get a perfect view of the stained glass in the back. You can see some urns or vases, possibly, probably just vases, sitting on the windowsill there. So what I think I'm gonna do real quick is actually run back to the car, grab my flashlight, drive back to this mausoleum, and see if we can get a little bit better look inside. Well, now I hear bikers. There's what sounds like a very large Harley about to come around here somewhere. But we are back. I'm gonna try and get an inside view here. Let's see. Oh yeah, that worked out pretty well. Not the best view inside that we can get. As you can see, there are 3 people on each side. Actually, there might be 4, it looks like. Well, that's a lot better lighting. Wow, it's in really great shape. Definitely can see just a flower vase, or 2 flower vases there on the windowsill. And then appears to be no dates or names, so that's kind of strange. But luckily we can see the name on the outside of the family. Well, a little bit strange in terms of the names and having no dates for the individual people that are buried in there. But wow, what an incredible place, guys. Thank you so much for coming along with me here. Wasn't planning to head this direction today, but I just took a chance and decided to go here instead of the other 2 places that I was gonna go, and I ended up getting this one massive episode here, so I'm really, really happy. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on your notifications. We do this all the time and go to some really, truly amazing places. Also, click on the 539 Productions link and just head on over to the main page and browse through. There's hundreds and hundreds of great videos to watch. So thank you all once again for joining me, and I will see you all in the next adventure.